2023 Rolex 24-hour winners Meyer Shank Racing have been found to have manipulated tire pressure data at the season opener. What does this mean for the 2022 series champs, and what penalties have been handed out? I'll take you through everything that we know so far. IMSA announced on Wednesday afternoon that Meyer Shank Racing has been deducted 200 team points as well as 200 driver points for manipulating the tire pressure data on their number 60 Acura ARX06. This comes after the team took a commanding victory in January's Rolex 24, which at times they really looked unstoppable in that race. IMSA released the following statement. After the completion of post-race technical inspection and both provisional and official results were released for the Rolex 24, IMSA became aware of the potential manipulation of tire pressure data from the number 60 car to IMSA, as well as the monitoring point for the minimum tire pressure regulation. Following a thorough investigation of all cars in the class, IMSA officials today announced that the number 60 Meyer Shank Racing GTP team has been penalized for a violation of the following 2023 IMSA sporting regulations. Per attachment 3.6.6.d, intentional application of software assets within the pressures being reported by the tire pressure monitoring system and associated car telemetry system is prohibited and may be subject to penalty. The tire pressure data manipulation was discovered by Honda Performance Development, HPD, and reported to IMSA after the official results were released. No changes will be made to the official race results. The number 60 team and drivers retain credit for the race victory, trophy, and race winner watches. All other teams and drivers will retain the points and prizes commensurate with their finishing positions as shown on the official race results. There also will be no change to GTP manufacturer points. So the penalties that IMSA has handed out are as follows. The loss of 200 team and 200 driver points in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. The loss of all team and driver IMSA Michelin Endurance Cup points, the loss of any prize money won from the race. In addition to that, the team will receive a $50,000 fine. Team and entrant representative Meyer Shank has been placed on probation through June 30th, 2023. And finally, team engineer Ryan McCarthy has had his IMSA annual credentials revoked and has been placed on an indefinite suspension. Do you think these penalties are enough though? Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Meyer Shank Racing also released the following statement. We accept the series decision and have taken responsibility. We want to apologize to everyone at Acura, HPD, and all of our partners. We have dealt with this issue internally, and the team member that was responsible is no longer with the organization. We do not want this error to overshadow the tremendous effort that our team, drivers, and all of our partners have put forth to develop this new LMDH car. We consider this matter closed and are fully focused on resetting and coming back for the 12 hours of Sebring. Well, there certainly is quite a bit to unpack here. I think first off, you have to tip your hat to HPD for just bringing this to IMSA's attention in the first place. It would have, of course, been very difficult for HPD to bring this information forward to IMSA and kind of out one of their teams, but I am pleased to at least know that they did the right thing and they brought this to IMSA's attention. Of course, though, there is also plenty of disappointment here. Now, it's disappointing to hear about any form of cheating going on, period. But even more so when you consider this is right at the beginning of a brand new era, an exciting era for IMSA and just sports car racing in general. For there to be this dark cloud that's hanging over the first race of this era and the biggest race of the IMSA season isn't ideal, and it's going to be something that the series is going to want to move on from as quickly as they can. Now, the loss of prize money and the significant points penalty, that's all fine and dandy, but how are you not stripping the team of the race victory? With this decision, the team still gets to keep the trophy. The team still gets to keep that race win. And the drivers get to keep those Rolex watches that are such an iconic part of this race. Now, I understand that this was only brought to IMSA's attention after the results were made official, but regardless, this is something that significantly impacted the results of this race and should be grounds for disqualification. The manipulation enabled the car to run at lower tire pressures than were mandated by Michelin. Not only does this create safety issues, but it also provides performance benefits. For instance, they were able to heat up their tires at a faster rate on race restarts. Now, running tire pressures right on the limit of what's legal in the rules is definitely not anything new, not just in sports car racing, but in racing in general. And as Bozy Tatarevic pointed out in a Twitter thread, which I will link in the show notes below, if a team is found to not be playing within the mandated tire pressure range, then at first they'll get a warning, followed up by, of course, if they do it again, they'll be issued a drive-through penalty. However, this is a little bit different because not only were they running illegal tire pressures, but they were manipulating the data that they were sending to the sanctioning body. This would allow them to appear, at least in IMSA's eyes, that they were running in the right tire pressure range when they were indeed not. And as for the team statement that they put out, I'm also a little bit disappointed in that as well. They really seem to hinge this all on one individual team member that has since been let go. However, I find it a bit difficult to believe that data manipulation like this could be done with only the knowledge of one person on the team. Now, of course, not all team members are going to have access to the hot tire pressures that are taken from the sensors out on track, but I'm still not completely convinced that this was the doing of just one individual. Now, I'm definitely not here either to take anything away from the very hard-working men and women that have put their blood, sweat, and tears into making sure that car was ready to go for Daytona, and not just ready to go, but ready to cross the finish line first. However, if there are other individuals involved, they deserve to be penalized just the same. And a message absolutely needs to be sent that this will not be tolerated going forward. Now, that's really all I have to say about the situation. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We'll be back next week to cover all of the news heading into the second race of the season, the 12 Hours of Sebring, which also includes the new GTP BOP that was released today. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. I hope everyone has a great race weekend and doesn't go off in the S's.